So this video is, I want to talk about what is binary. Well, to put it in a short form, binary is the only language that a computer understands, period. On the basic level, that's absolutely true. So why is that the case? Well, binary it's all based on electricity. Every computer is based on electricity, and binary is a language that goes all the way down to that level. So electricity is either on or it's off. There's no way to say there's, level 2 electricity running in the wire in my house, and this other wire has electricity level 25. It doesn't happen that way. There either is or is not electricity. It's kind of like, is it raining or is it not raining, right? And so all the way down inside a microprocessor, there are these little switches called transistors. And transistors can direct the flow of electricity. They're like little switches. And so electricity being either on or off can then actually be directed, kind of like almost like a switch or a faucet in a plumbing system, right? And or a valve, and you turn on the water and then it flows through, right? And transistors are like that for electricity on a very, very, very tiny level. So let's assume that we have a switch, like a light switch. How many numbers do you think we could represent with that light switch? Well, we have just electricity, the switch is on or the switch is off, and that's it. There is no in between. And so we can represent two numbers, really, just on and off. There's two states of the thing, two conditions. All of our counting is going to start at 0 instead of starting at 1. When someone tells you to count, you usually say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this case, we're going to say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And since we have two numbers in the on or off world, we go 0, 1. And that's 2 on my hand there. And so that's where the 0 and 1 comes from. So binary, the word has bi as its prefix, and bi means 2. And so that's it right there. That's why it's named that way, and that tells you everything you need to know about how many numbers are going to be in it. So a little problem though, there's not a lot you can do with just 0 and 1. We have to go beyond that. And so to do that, we're going to put multiple zeros and ones together, so multiple switches together, and that'll allow us to do more. So you're going to learn in another video exactly how to do that, like the actual math and how to do it, on paper. We're going to actually do it on the screen. And but for now, just you're going to have to trust me that 1001, 1011 makes up the number 155. Just trust me on that for now. So if we can turn electricity on and off on a bunch of switches and have that result in numbers such as the 155 there, that allows us to do just about anything we'd want. We now can go way beyond 0 and 1, and the sky's the limit. And that's because we can use numbers to represent every other type of information in the world. And so, to give you an example, here's a tiny piece of this picture in binary. And that's the real binary that's behind it. So, and therefore, the real numbers that make up that picture. So, the numbers get shown as a picture when the computer reads them and software turns them into dots on the screen. The numbers store the information, and then the software says, oh, okay, I get all these numbers in a row, right? And let me turn it into dots of different colors and in different places and different brightness. And that's how that becomes a picture. So a DVD player works in the same way. Every DVD contains, on the shiny material underneath, contains binary. There's little dark spots and light spots, or they're actually physically bumps. And so when the laser hits it, it tries to read it, and what happens is it comes back and it either sees itself or it doesn't, and it's kind of like, did I get laser back or not? And so the binary numbers then that it reads out at an incredible speed are turned into dots on the screen, and it just keeps going, keeps going. That's how it makes a movie. I might, of course, need to change the example from DVD to something else, because I don't know if the DVDs will be around that much longer. Blu-ray disc, I guess, but everything, this too shall pass. So anyhow, so that's how that works. Now I want to look at binary in a different way, so that you get a more intuitive way of seeing the numbers behind the on-off switches. So with one switch, we can have two possible numbers. So that's either on or off, 0, 1. And with two switches, we can have more combinations. Off and off, right? For switch 1, it's, in fact, let's do it this way. Switch 1 and switch 2, right? So off and off. Off and on. On and off. And on and on. So how many did we get out of that there? We actually had 4 possible numbers by putting two switches next to each other and then turning them on and off in different combinations. So how about 3 switches, 1, 2, and 3? Well, I don't have 3 hands. We have many more combinations when we do 3. In fact, as you can see, we have off, 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 on, off, on, off, on, off, and off, and so on. You get the picture. And we have 8 combinations from 3 switches. So maybe you see what's happening here. With one switch, we get 2. With 2 switches, we get 4. With 3 switches, we don't get 6, we get 8. It keeps getting bigger, and in fact, it gets bigger very quickly. You're going to see throughout the other videos here exactly how all this works. But so when I said that 1001, 1011 is 155, you can see that adding more switches gives us much larger numbers. In this case, we have 8 switches, and then that gives us 256 possible combinations, of which, as you can see with the binary and the number I gave you, 155 is within that. It's just one of the numbers possible with 8 switches used next to each other. So to wrap it up, now you know that binary is the real language that computers understand. You know that it's made of zeros and ones. You know why there's zeros and ones and not some other numbers or some other symbols. And you know that these zeros and ones make actual numbers, which is the real form of all digital information. That's why it's called digital, by the way. Everything is numbers, digits. Right? So you might be familiar with like the digits 0 through 9, right? So in this case, everything's numbers, everything's digits. So anyhow, there you go. And that's an introduction to binary.